All right, you guys have asked for props. I have listened. So I don't know if this will be a prop show going forward, but that's certainly what the feedback has been from the under the radar segments this week. So I've got two props for you in Major League Baseball for Saturday. Sorry I missed you guys yesterday. Normally this show runs Monday through Friday. We didn't do a Friday one, so we'll replace that with a Saturday show, two props, and hopefully a 2-0 sweep. To make the week for us. I went back and looked at the results for this segment for this week. Roughly even so far, pretty much a wash. If you had played the Connor Griffin prop every day, like I said, you probably could on Monday, you'd be up. Like that's been really good so far this week. I think his hits, runs, RBIs, and total bases have gone over in 3 of 4. And maybe the hits, runs, RBIs over 1.5 has gone over every single time. But we'll call it even just for the sake of record keeping. And so hopefully we can go 2-0 today and close out the week on a high note. After a nice KBO winner this morning on the KT Wiz, I'm up 8.46 units on the bases so far this season. I'm pretty happy about that because the first sort of 7 to 10 days, I put myself in a little bit of a hole. So the fact that we have overturned that and now come into Saturday up over 8 units on the season on the bases is very encouraging. You can get all of my MLB plays, the KBO, the AAA on my all access package. There's also an MLB special out there on my page right now. And then of course the 6 days for the price of 3 is going to run until the end of August. That'll get you all access as well. We're going to make money on the bases, and I hope that you are doing that along with me over at WagerTalk, the only place that you can get all of my bets. Okay, so since we, I guess, brought up KBO, let's check in on our buddy Eric Fetty. Let's talk A's White Sox for a second here out in Sacramento this afternoon. So, of course, Eric Fetty put together one of the best seasons for a starting pitcher in the history of the league. In 2023, 209 innings pitched, 180 in the third innings pitched, 209 strikeouts. His ERA was 2, and his WHIP was under 1 for a full season as a starter, 0.95, which is actually kind of ridiculous in the KBO because as a starter, like there's only 10 teams in the league. By the second half in the league, like a lot of times these guys, even the good sort of former MLB guys, will start to get figured out just by like sheer exposure to, sometimes pitching against the same team for a 6th or 7th time. So for Fetty to have that kind of season, very, very impressive, was dominant, in the playoffs as well. Just a tremendous season. Parlayed that into a contract with the White Sox in 2024 where he was awesome. I mean, if you go back to early 2024, Eric Fetty was good enough to get himself traded to a contender at the deadline. He pitched good enough for the White Sox on a bad White Sox team, a team that's worse than this White Sox team, to become a trade piece at the deadline, which is, I feel like, probably didn't get enough credit for that because, of course, he got traded to the Cardinals, didn't pitch as well, didn't pan out. But during his time with the White Sox, 121 and 2/3 innings, 108 strikeouts. He was awesome. And listen, it just didn't work out on the Cardinals. Maybe he got a little fatigued. Who knows? Was pitching in bigger games. That could have been a thing. And then last year just kind of bounced around, never found a home, had a bad season. I think he ended up on 3 different teams in 2025. It did not work out for him. Now he's back in the White Sox organization. Listen, sometimes guys respond, to a certain coach, a certain, team of coaches. It just works that way. And so it's possible that Fetty, was comfortable in Chicago, comfortable with the coaching staff, maybe more so than the 4 other pitching coaches he's worked with since. Because he looks like 2024 Eric Fetty so far to start the season. Really hasn't had a bad outing yet. And, he's just been consistently good. 5 or 6 innings, keeping his team in games. It's basically what he was doing prior to getting traded to the Cardinals. So I want to back him here in some way. And I kind of went through the prop menu. He's had 4 strikeouts in each start. That feels right. The A's have just great bat to ball. A lot of really, like, they'll strike out sometimes, but they're just such good contact hitters that I don't think that's the way I want to go. But I'm going to play off of that a little bit because the A's are very aggressive at the plate. Now, they're very good at making contact and putting the ball in play, but they are very aggressive collectively as a team at the plate. And I think Fetty could potentially use that against them a little bit. So he doesn't ever throw fastball, nothing straight. He really doesn't have a 4-seamer or 2-seam fastball that's in his pitch arsenal. So everything is going to move. He goes sweeper, cutter, sinker, changeup, and everything's going to move. The pitch that he throws more than a third of the time is the pitch that sort of that he sort of reinvented himself with over in Korea, the sweeper. That pitch grades out in like the top 5% of breaking pitches in the league. He's 95th percentile, like breaking pitch run value over at Baseball Savant. So I'm going to play him under 5.5 hits. The other reason I like that, last night, Davis Martin goes 7 innings. Doug Nikhazy comes in, cleans up the last 2. The White Sox have their whole bullpen here. And so I either think Fetty's cruising and they leave him, and if he's cruising, he's pitching well. Or if he doesn't pitch as good, he's probably out before he can give up that 6th hit. You've got about a hit per inning to work with. I don't think he's probably going to fall into that 5 to 6 innings range. It's under 5.5 at like minus 105. So you've got a hit per inning to work with. He's stayed under 5 in 2 of his 3 starts already this year. And I could see the A's being like a little too aggressive to the point where, they're making contact, but it's not great contact. And Fetty's getting easier outs and sort of cruising through this game. So that number felt a little high for me. So I would play Eric Fetty under 5.5 hits, which is offered pretty much everywhere. That's a pretty standard market in the prop menu at just about any book. Again, great all access specials on my page. Have battled from being negative through the first sort of 7 days of the season to now plus 8.46 units after the KT Wiz won for me this morning. That's across all baseball. Right about even in MLB, slightly up in KBO, slightly up in AAA. And again, I was slightly ahead in MLB. The Marlins really kind of screwed me last night, losing in extra innings. So many mistakes. Not worried about it. We will get it back. And I expect to win in all 3 leagues, MLB, KBO, AAA. So all access is the way to go. All right, let's look at one more prop here. Let's go to one of the late games, Padres Angels. I'm just a big Zach Neto fan. I think he's going to be a superstar at some point. I think he probably hasn't gotten enough attention yet this year because he hasn't like gone off completely yet. And Mike Trout has played so well. Jose Soriano has been one of the best pitchers in the league. Like, there's just been other things to talk about as it pertains to the Angels. Joe Adell having arguably the best defensive game for a single player in like the history of Major League Baseball. There's just been a lot of other talking points for the Angels so far this season. That I think Neto's kind of been a little bit quiet, but he's right at a hit per game. 21 games he's played in 21 hits. And as I was going through his sort of numbers, game logs, I noticed that like he hasn't had many extra base hits lately. Last night he goes 2 for 5, but both singles. In the prior games, like he's typically getting a hit in just about every game. Again, 21 hits, 21 games, 21 hits. But he just hasn't had as many extra base hits as I would have expected. Now, he's got 5 homers. Most of them were like the first week of the season, though. I think he had 3 pretty quickly. And I guess what I'm just trying to say is I feel like he's due to just put one in the gap or maybe put one over the fence. So I like his total bases over 1.5. That's even money right now. And here's a couple of what, he's probably going to get 5 at bats here. He bats in the leadoff spot. I have zero faith in German Marquez, who's going to pitch for the Padres in this game. So it's a good chance he'll get as many at bats as anyone on the Angels. And then the other thing I just like in this game is like, total bases. A single is 1, a double is 2, a triple is 3, a home run would be 4. He's getting hits, so maybe he goes 2 for 4 again, or 2 for 5, and you hit it that way. I think the more likely thing to happen is he drives one, it finds a gap, he's standing on second base with a double, and you've hit, or he gets into one, hits his 6th home run of the year, and you hit it that way. The point is, that seemed, being able to get that at even money with a guy as talented as he is, who's averaging a hit per game and is going to bat leadoff was appealing to me. So we'll go Zach Neto over 1.5 total bases. He gets you a double. It's a win. I just think there's quite a few ways to win that game. And the Padres have a starting pitcher that's just not going to strike many guys out. Probably going to give up some hits. Hasn't been very good. This was a guy that had an ERA of like over 6 last year for the Rockies. Not sure why he's still starting games, but Padres just aren't that deep at starting pitcher at this point. So he is going to continue to be out there, and I'll try to continue to take advantage. So for today, 2 props. Let's see if we can go 2-0 and close out the week strong. We'll go Eric Fetty under 5.5 hits, Zach Neto over 1.5 total bases. Speaking of total bases, 10 a.m. Eastern on Saturday, special time for the Saturday show. And then we will be back Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern, right here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Check out those great specials on my page over at WagerTalk, and we will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone.